want to talk to you about a little bit more serious topic, but just for the purpose of preparation, not at all to cause panic or unease. My whole goal with this channel is to reduce stress and anxiety. But one way that we can do that is through preparedness, through openly talking about things going on in the world. And one thing that struck me the other day was the overpowering loss of cell phone service throughout our country and even throughout the world. So did you lose any cell phone power or internet service? Comment, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I did not. I'm up with Verizon, so fortunately I did not lose my service, but I do know people who did, and they said at first they thought, oh, no big deal, I can live without my phone. But then they were driving into work and realized they weren't going to have any communication with their spouse. You know, none of their apps worked, their GPS didn't work. So my question is, have we become too reliant on technology? And again, feel free to comment. I would love to hear your take on this. I personally believe technology is great until it's not, right? Do you agree, disagree? Again, feel free to comment. So I personally would be a lost ball in the high weeds without GPS. I do not know what I would do without GPS and Google, quite honestly. I Google information every single day. But the cell phone outage, and then quickly followed by the pharmaceutical industry going down and people not being able to get their prescriptions refilled, it really resonated with me that the power grid outage could be a real problem. And the government has been openly warning about it. You can go to the State Department website and there's information about how to prepare for a power grid outage. They've been talking about it since before 2014. All the information is public, it's all there. But the cell phone outage came on the heels of the State Department announcing that China has the capability for a major large-scale cyber attack. So no matter who it comes from, how it happens, our power grids are vulnerable. And as a result, I think that we all need to take things into consideration because we're a very tech-forward community, population, and there are some things that I've been deeply thinking about in order to start to prepare myself mentally and physically, prepare my home. I'm not a prepper in general, just so you know, but you know, I don't want to come down to the power grid being out and then be really sorry that I didn't have, for example, a manual can opener. You know, if you stock your house with canned food but can't open it, it's not going to do a lot of good. So I have a list of things prepared that I would like to share with you today. Take it or leave it if it doesn't resonate with you, but it's meant to bring you peace of mind because again, if we are prepared, we can handle anything that comes our way. So number one, communicate with your loved ones on your plan of action, especially if they're out of town. I know my children are in different cities and states than me, as is my elderly mom. So I wanted to know that they will also put these actions into place and that they will be prepared and that they will stay put in their home and just hunker down if anything bad happens, because we won't have the access to call each other. If the power grid goes down, what does that mean? Let's first talk about that. It means no cell phone communication, no internet, no land telephone lines, no water, no sewer. You can't flush your toilets. no heat or air conditioning, no gas lines, no ability to get gasoline from gas stations to be able to drive your car long distance to be with loved ones, no ability to go to the grocery store because the power is down, no ability to go to banks. So it's a very large scale problem when the power grid does go down. So again, don't panic. Everything is going to be okay, and it's going to be a temporary problem, but I do think that we're looking at something on this scale happening. So talk to your family member about a plan. Make sure your family members are going to be prepared and taken care of so that you're not panicking without communication to them. Stock your pantry. Start now. Just buy a little bit extra each week of dried boxed foods, maybe mac and cheese, canned foods, jarred foods. If you like pickled foods, maybe pickled foods. Just a variety of things that you can prepare easily without access to your stove or oven. Okay, so we need to be prepared to cook over a campfire or a grill. Okay, make sure you're stocked up on paper goods, paper towels, toilet paper. Remember, during COVID, those are things that we had a hard time having access to. So we don't want to hoard, but we want to slowly build up. We want a minimum of a 2-week supply according to the government website. I'm going to err on the side of caution and buy a little bit more, knowing that I will use these items in the future regardless of whether there is a major power grid outage or lockdown that happens. I will use these items regardless. So just check your dates when you're buying your canned and boxed foods and make sure that the date is far enough out. From everything that I understand, if we have a major power grid outage, it's probably going to occur around the election this next fall. So there's no need for immediate concern. We have plenty of time to prepare. But as you can see, with the cell phone outage, the prescription problems being fulfilled, things are ramping up, and I think these are all dry runs to prepare us for a future bigger cyber attack. So again, just start to build your pantry, start to get your supplies and your things in order. Make sure you get supplies for your pets. Okay, remember your furry friends. Get lots of food for them. Get litter, kitty litter if you have cats. Toys, treats, things that they will need. Make sure you have a non-electric can opener. Make sure that you have a flashlight and batteries. Make sure that you have wet wipes to help clean up, because again, we won't have running water. You'll want propane or charcoal, depending what kind of grill you have. And if you don't have a grill, you'll want to get one. If you're in an apartment, you're probably going to want to get a small portable, like camping style grill with lots of propane refillable tanks. And those will not be available at the last minute, so get them now. You'll want to have medical supplies, Band-Aids, bandages, gauze, Motrin, Tylenol, sinus allergy medicine, and then of course your prescription medicines. Make sure you have those. You'll want candles and matches. You don't want to be 2 weeks in darkness at night. We won't have access to the flashlight on our phones. We won't be able to charge the phones. So make sure you have the old-fashioned flashlights and batteries. You'll want disposable paper cups and plates because we won't have a lot of access to cleaning dishes. Okay, liquid dish soap as opposed to the tablets for the dishwashers. All these things. You'll want Woolite liquid clothing detergent to hand wash socks and underwear and things like that. You will want notebooks and books and games to keep you active during the day and occupy your time, because again, there will be no television, no internet. We'll be stuck at home not going to work, most of us. So you'll want a transistor radio so that you can tune into what's happening in the world. That's something that we're not really used to. And then finally, you'll want firewood, because if it is the cold time of the year, if this does occur in November and last into possibly December, if you live somewhere cold, you'll want firewood to try to stay warm. So, keep in mind all of these things. Make lists of your own. When you think of things, you may think of things that I haven't brainstormed myself. This is all new to me, but I know that when we lose power here, if we have a major storm, that some of these things have become normal for me, but certainly, even when we lose power, we have running water, we have toilets, we have gas that I could cook my food on my gas stove. So some of these things are going to be very different, and they're things that we're just unaccustomed to. So it's good to be aware. Awareness is the key for preparation, and so I hope these tips help you. Again, I encourage you to comment. We're not in this alone. We're in this together. If it happens, it's going to happen to all of us. Hopefully it doesn't come down to this. Hopefully we never need these things, right? But if it does, we want to be comfortable in our homes. We don't want to be panicking at the last minute. That's what causes upheaval and people breaking into other people's homes or looting grocery stores and those types of things. We remember the crunches during COVID when you walked into the grocery stores and the shelves were completely empty. So we just want to start to prepare ourselves ahead of time. Stock up, it can't hurt. And remember, the things that are in your refrigerator and freezer will only last for approximately 2 days. You might get 3 if you don't open it often. But you want to mainly have pantry items that you don't need refrigeration for. Things that you can barter are also great items. So liquor, candy is a really good bartering tool. And again, the medical supplies are also good bartering tools in case you should run out of something that you need and you need to, go to a neighbor and exchange something. So those are my tips. My final tips are to have a little cash on hand at home in case you need to buy something from a neighbor. Stores will be closed, of course. And have your car tank full of gas in case you have to get out at the last minute for any emergency reason. So stay safe, stay prepared, and stay calm. In case no one else has told you yet today, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't yet, just hit that little button.